Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today, let's predict the price trend of UnitedHealth stock. I am a swing investor, and I will not consider the price changes of a stock 1 month later. This channel only makes short-term price predictions for stocks, usually 1 to 3 weeks. Welcome to subscribe to this channel. UnitedHealth stock has slightly corrected in the past 4 days. Although the willingness of bulls to push up the stock price has declined, the stock price has not fallen below the key support level, which shows that the bulls of the stock are still trying to maintain the stock price. This also means that the stock is still expected to rebound again and rise further. Judging from the trading volume and intraday stock price performance of the stock, it seems that some funds have flowed out of the market in the past 4 days, causing the stock price to rise, but the accumulated funds out of the market do not seem to be large. However, this wave of selling of the stock may not be over yet, and the stock price may still fall further, but the support position of the stock is also very obvious, and it seems that it is not easy for the bears to significantly lower the stock price. We can see from the 30-minute chart of the stock. The bulls tried to push the stock price further up between June 12th and 13th, but were suppressed by the bears and released some large trading volumes. There should be some funds flowing out of the market here. The stock price came to the key support position again after the close of June 18th. If the bullish capital that pushed the stock price up has not yet exited the market, there is a high possibility that the stock will rebound at the current position. Of course, if the stock price falls further, it does not mean that the stock's current upward trend has ended. The stock stopped falling and rebounded at $287 on May 27th, and then entered a consolidation trend. The stock price did not rise further until June 11th. During this period, the stock should have accumulated a lot of bullish capital. Due to limited profit margins, these bullish capitals may not have exited the market yet. So even if the stock price falls further, there is a high possibility that bullish capital will intervene in the stock again and push the stock price to rebound. We can see this through the position distribution of the stock. The stock currently has a large number of positions in the $287.20 to $316.10 area, and the current price of the stock is in the middle and upper part of the area, which shows that the stock is still supported by the bullish force from this area. The stock currently also retains some positions in the $247.40 to $287.20 area. In fact, the position volume in this area has been significantly reduced in the past month, but a part of it is still retained. This shows that the long capital that entered the market at a low level when the stock price plummeted in May has not completely exited the market, which is regarded as a positive signal. The position volume of the stock from the current price to the $339.40 area is not large, but it may still put some pressure on the stock price to rise. However, there is still a large amount of long capital in the low area of the stock that has not exited the market, so it seems more reasonable for the stock price to rise further. Recently, J.P. Morgan analyst Lisa Gill raised the company's target price from $405 to $418 after meeting with UnitedHealth Group management and maintained an overweight rating. Gill updated her estimates to reflect lower Medicare Advantage enrollment growth in 2025 and 2026, as the company plans to exit unprofitable plans and prioritize profit discipline. She noted that if the company hits the lower end of its targeted 3% to 5% margin on Medicare Advantage plans, it could deliver meaningful upside to current consensus estimates. 25 analysts have tracked UnitedHealth stock and rated it over the past 3 months. These analysts have a consensus rating of buy on UnitedHealth stock. Of these, 72% have buy ratings, while only 4% have sell ratings. This reflects that Wall Street remains bullish on the stock. These analysts have an average price target of $371.10 for UnitedHealth stock, which is about 20% above the current price. The highest price target for UnitedHealth stock is $525, and the lowest price target is $270. On Wednesday, the Federal Reserve decided to keep interest rates unchanged. Investors are weighing comments made by Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell on Wednesday. Powell's comments essentially indicate that the Fed is in no rush to cut its benchmark interest rate and will remain data-dependent. However, this is bad news for the stock market, as the intensification of the conflict in the Middle East has led some investors to sell stocks in order to avoid the risk of a price correction. This has significantly increased the pressure for a market correction, and the Fed's decision to keep interest rates unchanged has further increased the pressure for a market correction. White House officials said on Thursday that President Donald Trump is considering whether to order a strike on Iran and will make a decision within 2 weeks. This seems to have eased investors' current nervousness, but the war between Israel and Iran continues. Israel's attitude is very tough. After Iran's missile attack on Israel's civilian facilities, Israel seems to be strengthening their strikes against Iran, and it is impossible to stop in the past 2 weeks. President Trump hopes to solve the problem at the lowest cost, but the possibility of military intervention is still high, because if the Iranian regime does not fall, the nuclear threat will continue to exist. Israel is very clear about this, so their strike range is not only nuclear facilities but more importantly the Iranian regime. Let's go back to the daily chart of the stock. I think the stock is still on the rise, and despite the recent setback, capital does not seem to be leaving the market on a large scale, and the current price remains at a certain height, which shows that the bulls are still in control. Of course, time is running out for the bulls. During this period of uncertainty, the bulls may take the opportunity to push the stock price higher, so I set the target price for the stock in the $316.10 to $339.40 range. But whether the stock price can rise further needs further observation, because the stock price will face great pressure to pull back in this area. Okay, guys, this is my price forecast for UnitedHealth stock. Thank you for watching. If you agree with my analysis, please share and subscribe to my channel, and see you in the next video.